Hey man, I know this is a crazy time for you. You're leaving home to go to college. You don't really know anyone over there, and all your friends and family will be far from you. But trust me, it's all going to work itself out. You're going to have ups and downs, but know that everything you go through will strengthen you, even if you can't see how in that moment. Some advice that I offer you, as cliche as it sounds, is to do all the little things right. Make sure you're getting enough sleep and eating well, because let me tell you, you'll run faster in some of the workouts you do in college than races you've run in high school. But then you'll run faster. You'll win SEC team and individual titles. You'll post top 10 times at one of the most historic programs in the country. You'll learn to love cross country. I know it's hard to believe, because you'll be racing for something more than yourself. Right now, you think you're just going to do your 4 years in the US and be done. But I can assure you that you're going to be finishing your 5th year wishing you could wear the jersey one more time. Wishing that you could compete for something bigger than yourself again. You'll come to realize that college isn't the only place that's possible. You'll find a place where you'll represent a team again, where you'll be able to run for something more meaningful than yourself. Yours truly, Cameron Griffith, Tinman Elite.
I grew up in a city called Preston, which is roughly 45 minutes northwest of Manchester, England. Soccer is the national sport, and naturally that's what I gravitated towards in the early years of my life. I had a lot of talent in the sport, but my main attribute was my endurance. I was able to sprint just as fast at the end of the game as I could at the beginning. In 2011, my parents wanted me to train at my local track club to get faster and stronger for the up-and-coming soccer season. Reluctantly, I showed up to the track one Thursday evening and had more fun than I ever had playing soccer. The coach at the time told me that I could be as good as I wanted to be if I worked hard and believed in myself. That was something that lit a fire inside of me. I controlled my own destiny. There was no reliance on other people on the team. It was going to fall down to how bad I wanted to win. Throughout the rest of my high school careers, I thrived. I competed for Great Britain and won 3 national titles, all of which culminated to an offer to compete for Eastern Kentucky University on a full scholarship. If I was to summarise my time at EKU, I would say it was turbulent. I came to the US as an 18-year-old immature boy. I partied, I skipped runs, and I blamed everybody else for my own failures. This went on through to my junior year in college. I did enough to keep the coaches off my back. I qualified for the NCAA East Regionals in a steeple, but I was a pretender. However, at that point, I was genuinely fine with that. I was so far removed from wanting to be the best version of myself, I did not care that I was failing myself. This led to a pivotal moment in my running career. After finishing 191st at the Wisconsin Invite and 109th at the Southeast Regional XC race, the head coach at EKU called me into his office and gave me a few home truths, to say the least. Leaving the office, I was furious at what had been said and I wanted to transfer. But then it hit me, who would want a guy that was a semi-decent high school runner as a junior in college? I took a deep look at myself and what I'd become, and I hated it. I vowed from that moment on, I would be the best version of me. I owed it to my coaches, my teammates, and to myself. I put my head down and got to work for the remaining 2 years of my college career. After experiencing the brutal lows of the sport, I began to experience the highs. I became an NCAA runner-up, I won a bronze medal at the European Juniors, and I fulfilled my dream of competing for Great Britain at the senior level. I got to taste what this beautiful sport had to offer. My goals in the sport are very simple. I want to compete for Great Britain and win medals at global championships, and give back to the sport that has given me the opportunities that would have been unimaginable to a 15-year-old Jamaine. When I say my goals are simple, it's not said with complacency. Simple is not easy. But putting yourself in an environment that will constantly push you to achieve those goals makes it a hell of a lot easier. This is what excites me about joining Tinman Elite. They are a family that push their brothers in every aspect of their lives. They hold one another accountable on and off the track, and that is the ethos that has driven them to the top of the sport. Immersing myself in this culture will not only allow me to be the best version of myself athletically, but will holistically allow me to be one of the best version of me.
I've always been a competitive person. As a kid, I pitched my little league team to an undefeated season. I was class president, won state titles, and excelled in the classroom. Mediocrity just wasn't a part of my identity. I wouldn't allow it. Heading into college, I knew I had the work ethic and ability to be one of the best runners in the NCAA. By the end of my first year, I had the second fastest 10K time in the NCAA for a freshman and the proof I needed to fuel my goals. But thanks to my competitive nature, I got in my own way. I believed that working harder was a direct path to finding success, and that overtraining was something that would lead me to my best. At my peak, I was running 114 times 100 meter hill repeats on Tuesday,
10-mile tempo runs on Thursday, 14 by 800 meter hill repeats on Saturday, and 20-mile long runs on Sunday for a total of 120 miles a week. I wasn't afraid to work hard. I had worked hard my whole life. Instead of finding the success I was seeking, I found failure. Mono, 2 stress fractures, and a 4-year bout with anemia attempted to slow me down, but I found other ways to keep working hard. My body was screaming enough, but I had bigger plans. Eventually, my mind started to give up on me. By my senior year, I was going out on late night runs, hoping I'd be hit by a car so I'd have an excuse to stop. I was defeated, ego-checked, and my identity was in crisis mode. I finished my senior year of college running slower than any year previously. I failed for over 2,500 days. I was humbled, but I wasn't done. I needed to win again. After watching Reed finish 4th at the USATF Championships on her home track, I decided it was time. I reached out to Coach Schwartz and immediately started finding the success I'd been searching for. I found the balance in my training and life that I needed, and immediately became a happier person. Over the past 2 years, I've crushed every PR from the 3K to the marathon, culminating with a USATF Marathon Championship. Winning a national championship was something so much bigger than just a title. It was the pursuit of finding me again. If I had given up on my pursuit, I never would have experienced the greatest moment of my life. Moving to Boulder is the manifestation of my journey as a runner. I'll be working with the greatest coach in the world, training with the guys who inspire me to be the best version of myself, and living in the greatest running city in the US. I'm here to keep breaking barriers, and I plan to become one of the many members of Tinman Elite to make an Olympic team. If you give up on your dream, you'll never know when your next big breakthrough is about to happen. Keep going.